Okay, so today we're going to discuss the 6 assumptions of andragogy and how they are connected to our final projects. So as an art teacher, I have been in the middle of learning how to be a fully remote instructor this year. And then we were a hybrid model and then went back to face-to-face instruction for the fall of 2021. So I felt that this was a relevant topic to choose and something that I personally would be interested in learning more about, and I feel many of my colleagues feel the same way. So the first concept that we are going to discuss the first assumption is self-concept. So that is the idea that the learner comes into the classroom wanting to contribute and help structure the learning environment and what they want to get out of the course. So as I am developing this professional development video, I am trying to keep it structured so that there is information being delivered that I think would be helpful to teachers, but I'm trying to keep the structure a little bit more loose so that teachers are able to go into it and think about how they teach and their style and how can they make this work for them. So I'm trying to keep that idea open so that they are able to incorporate their own ideas and organizational skills to the structure of the information. The second assumption is experience, which is that an adult learner comes into the classroom with varying levels of experience. So there are going to be art teachers and teachers in general who have far more experience than me as a remote instructor, and there are going to be those who have far less as well. So when approaching this professional development, I am trying to keep in mind that this is more for the kind of middle technology middle tech savvy group of teachers. And much of our experience this year came from on the fly, off the cuff kind of learning. So my hope is to reflect on my own best practices and borrow from other teachers I've spoken with and their different ideas and how they structure things to give the best tips that will help teachers to reorganize and regroup to go into next year with more intentional ideas of how they're going to approach their online learning and teaching models. The third assumption is readiness to learn depends on need. And boy, were we ready to learn about online this year. So we have many of the teachers I work with and many people I know in education have utilized LMS, varying LMS platforms in the past. However, this year was, a week-to-week changing situation. We were exclusively teaching remote, which is something that no one that I teach with had ever experienced. So it's for many people in education, it was a brand new experience and a whole new ballgame. So I think that we all feel very ready and excited to learn more about online learning and teaching because even if we're back in the classroom, we see the benefits and we see all of the potential there is for online learning. And I think we all feel excited to be utilizing it in thoughtful and organized ways in the future. So the next assumption is a problem-centered focus. So as adult learners, we are typically very busy humans. We have maybe multiple jobs. We are studying and working. We are providing or caregiving for family or friends. And so a lot of times we have a mentality that if we can start to solve some problems right away, we're going to feel way better about that session of learning than if we're just talking about big ideas and not getting down to some basic information that's going to help us right now. So I'm trying to balance in this professional development the big ideas with the practical advice and knowledge that can help you tomorrow in your classroom when you go to log in and start to think about your curriculum in the fall. So that is my hope in this professional development, that people can walk away with with knowledge and skills that they can utilize right now to make things better for themselves. Number 5 is an internal motivation. So humans, and this is andragogy, so we're talking about adults, but in my opinion, I think that all humans are striving to become better versions of themselves, to become more evolved, and to be efficient and good at what they do. And so I think that being technologically savvy and understanding best practices of remote learning are skills that are going to make everyone feel more confident in their job and in the future. So I think that teachers who were really resistant to technology in the past struggled extra hard this year because they had a steeper learning curve. They felt less confident and just very nervous about all of that change. And those teachers who had been more technologically savvy and more excited about technology in the past had an easier time with this transition. So I think what this year taught us was we have to be ready, and we have to know that even before COVID happened in quarantine, that technology is the future of education in whatever form it takes. Whether you're in person, you're going to be utilizing it, or if you're remote. So why not embrace it and try to really make it work for you? So finally, the last assumption is adults need to know why they need to learn something. And this is hugely important. And I think that, again, my teens in their classroom and the high school level also love to have some real world connection with their material. And I try to provide that whenever I can. But adults are the same. So they want to know, how is this going to help me, and what can I do with this information? So my hope is with this PD, again, that teachers, instructors, whoever is watching feels like they can walk away from that professional development video and have some real life skills, and to have some different thoughts maybe on how they can approach their learning management system as a tool to help them to be efficient and connected and organized for their students in the future. So thank you so much.